Welcome back. I just want to share with you one of the latest purchases for the workshop, and that's a clamping set to go with the MFT3 table. You saw me set up the MFT3 table in a previous video and also fine tune it to make sure that everything's always going to be a perfect 90 degrees. And the reason I was doing that and taking the time to do that is I can now use the various components that come inside this kit, the clamping kit, to give me more versatility on the table. And as always, buying these, you can buy these separately, but buying these components in the kit usually gives you a little bit more value. The kit comes in a Sustainer 1, and the kit is called the SYS MFT FX set. Inside the Sustainer we get a nicely laid out compartment to hold everything in place and a number of clamps and accessories for the table. The first thing that we get are these ratchet clamps, and I love these. They simply drop into the holes on the table, you pull up there and then you just clamp that into position, and the ratchet is really simple and it's super secure. And to release, you just press that and that releases the clamp. We get two of those in this kit. We also get a couple of guides. Now these guides have a aluminium top piece and we have dogs that can slide around. Now this is really useful, so we can slot these dogs into the holes on the MFT, and when I slot these holes here, these dogs here, into the MFT, like so, slide those things like that. That's now given me a perfect 90 degree angle between those two there. So if I'm working on a frame, for example, I can now clamp into that corner and I know it's a guaranteed 90 degrees. These obviously also make pretty good guides in this way. I can slide these so they're together to give me a single piece, and that will allow me, for example, to make a impromptu rip fence to use with the TS55 in the way that I set up the MFT3. And we get two of those chaps into the box as well. We then get a number of dogs that can go into any of these holes, and again that's just simply to allow me to start to, to position work against these dogs. And similarly, if I was to do something like this, then again I know I've got a perfect 90 degree between those dogs, and they're really useful. They can work very well with this type of clamp, the surface clamp, so I can now position these here opposite that row of dogs, and that will now be allowed to clamp something at the surface, which is fantastic if we're going to do some sanding. So if I wanted to clamp these bits of wood in here, loosen off, push it in, clamp it down, push it in, clamp it down, and now that's it. Now I can sand that without that moving around on the table. So that's pretty good as well. And we get two of those type of surface clamps. And as I said, four of the dogs. We also get a different type of dog. So as well as having the flat surface that we've already looked at, these also have a curved reference surface as well. So if we now wanted to start to hold a curved piece, we can now start to clamp that into position using those type of dogs. Two of those come with the kit. And finally, we get four of these knobs, exactly the same knobs that we use in the Kapex saw to hold bits and bobs on, so they're useful around the workshop. And if you look at the bottom of these dogs, they all have a threaded hole inside them, and that threaded hole is the same thread as this. So if I wanted to clamp things down, I can drop the dog in, and I can now clamp and secure that dog in, oops, from underneath, and I can set that down, and now that's not going to move, and that just gives me some additional clamping capacity, and it'll also be useful as we start to make some jigs for holding various artifacts to the table. So I just wanted to quickly share that with you. You're going to see me using this kit quite a lot, and it comes with a It comes with a pamphlet that gives some loose ideas, but there's not much value in the pamphlet, to be honest with you. And we're going to be using this kit quite a lot, so we're building things, so I just thought I'd unbox it and share it with you. See you next time.